gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The federal government has suspended all commercial flight mask mandates. You may now remove your masks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The CDC recommends that the federal government reinstate the mask mandate until April 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The federal government has suspended all commercial flight mask mandates. You may now remove your masks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The CDC recommends the federal government extend mask mandates on commercial flights until April 18th. So sorry for the news.
Warning, the views in this program are based on the opinions of hosts and guests. We are four friends who like to sit around and talk about a variety of topics. This show may be political in nature and may appear one-sided if no one of opposition joins in on the conversation. We try to find common ground on sometimes sensitive topics. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's have a conversation.
Why don't you go home and cry to your granny? Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, you know? Oh, watch out for Keith.
Watch out for Keith.
Hold on, I'm ready to travel. Are they extended yet?
That's actually good. I wonder if they'd accept that.
Right? I'll put my earphone doesn't fit on the other side though. I just got it on the
I mean,
side.
technically it's a face
It's a
covering,
face cover,
covering
right.
your mouth and your nose.
Right.
It's in my eyelashes though.
So you're good till April 18th, right?
Yes.
18th? Good.
That's
So-
just crazy. I was hoping
Did they
that it
really
was-
put it back in?
Yeah,
Yes, they did.
that's what made me
it's
call.
extended. It never ended. The federal mandate never ended.
Right.
We were hoping it would end so that when we came back, we wouldn't have to wear any. But
Did
yeah,
you
no.
wear?
Right.
I want to fly. Can we fly somewhere?
Sure.
I want to fly because I want to wear a thong on my face.
That would be funny. I'd take pictures of it too.
I know.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
I'd do it. Can I?
I would.
Can I wear a
pay to be
banana
on that
hammock
flight?
or elephant? Whatever that the strippers wear.
Huh?
Yes, you got to watch out
Oh,
for Keith.
I want to
Chris.
wear one of those.
Welcome everybody to Coffee Table Chronicles. It is Friday, March
11th.
11.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, you still have to wear a mask while flying.
But it can
Unfortunately.
be a leather thongs.
Sorry
or
about the
lace
long
thong.
intro, but it was worth it. It was funny.
It
No, that was
funny.
definitely funny.
You're gonna have to play it later because I don't know if everybody got to see it.
We'll play it again.
And
So-
it's hilarious.
so
And
who's
there's
on?
a secret character in there as well.
There is. If anybody saw
Yeah.
the secret character, let us know. Bios to Books is on. Christine, Kathleen, Chris, thanks for jumping on, buddy. Appreciate
Chris,
it. As always, hope you guys are doing good. You and Audra.
Great to see everyone.
Wendy.
Did you see, and Wendy, did you see that they're doing the tours now out there by them?
Yes, I did see
I
that.
know.
The
We got to
third
go
tour.
out there.
Ghost tours. Always exciting.
At that house. I know. We got to go.
We have a shit ton of memes tonight, so let's get going on those. shall
Sorry,
we?
it was a good week.
It was
And
good-
it was not a shitty situation. So that's good too.
right. It was a good week for memes. So here's our first one. Politicians looking for the next excuse to steal your rights after COVID is over. That is
Literally thought that said
so true.
misinformation and hookers. And I was like, they're releasing hookers. Oh my God.
We do have a new variant though. They just announced it today.
Did they?
Of course
The
they
the
did.
Delta the Deltacron.
A Deltacron.
You're making that.
I swear to God, I heard it on the radio this afternoon.
Deltacron.
Deltacron. It's a combination.
Oh, jeez.
Of the Delta and the Cron.
So this wasn't actually a meme. This is actually a tweet from Elon
Yep.
Musk. Just thought it was funny when
Yeah.
the guy who has his whole fortune based on electric vehicles.
But I don't understand what is making the consumption, or what is making this crisis.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Don't jump ahead. Who gets that? Who does not get that?
I don't get that.
I know
What
it's from
is
a
that?
movie. I just can't
All right, so we're gonna have to go back
remember
and rewatch
which.
Stripes.
What is Stripes?
Oh, is that from Stripes?
That's from Stripes. That's
was
the
it?
urban assault vehicle from
Oh.
Stripes.
Was it Bill Murray in that?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
I'm all,
And
what
Harold
is
Ramis.
Stripes?
Yeah, Harold Ramis.
it's
sorry.
Czechoslovakia. We pop in, we pop out. It's like going to Wisconsin. I thought this.
Yes.
That's great.
That is great. So
Oh.
I saw this video. It was awesome. Take down
The
your
chicken strip?
No. So I saw this video that was of a mom, and it was like, in between taking my kids to soccer and practicing to pay for gas to take them to all their things, and it was like her practicing stripping on the chair, and then she falls over the back of the chair, and she was like, I think I need a new job.
Well, since we did that one, I got to skip ahead to this one then,
Uh,
because this falls right in line with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
absolutely.
Right up Lindsay's alley. Hooker
Gonna
alley.
be
We're gonna
hooking
call
out there
it.
to pay for gas. It's expensive.
That's funny. I like that.
Gosh.
That I see that too all the time.
Yeah.
That's funny as shit.
For
It
real.
is,
no
but it's
crap.
sad.
I know it's sad.
Yeah.
That's a small sink.
It's a small basket of fruit.
This one actually made me get.
There would be signs. Yeah,
There
exactly.
would be signs.
Yep. Yeah.
Keith knows that all too true. He hates to fill his gas up
Right.
tank on the way.
It's very expensive.
It makes
It's all.
I did this today in the airport. I did this today in the airport.
I am so glad I did not have anything in my mouth.
Otherwise, it would have been time for a new mic.
Yes,
Oh,
it
there was a flurry. He's trying to work. There was a flurry of me creating things and sending him all sorts of stuff, and he's not responding. And I'm going, what, without words? And he's like, oh, shut up.
I hope everybody got that.
Oh,
I love this. This is hilarious.
I can't even
Gotta love
see
the
it.
ice
I'm
cream.
crying.
The rainbow ice cream.
Oh,
Go back to
Hold
the
on,
other.
do it
Go back to
again.
Putin and
Okay.
because the one thing that was interesting about this, because you don't have the follow up that I sent you, do you?
I might have put it on. I don't know if I put
There
it on
was
there
a
or not.
second one?
No, because what ended up happening is I'm putting this this blown up version
Look at
because
Keith's
his eyes are covered,
My-
and then he's got the big thing sticking out of his forehead, and I'm like, well, technically that looks like one of the minions. And so I sent him the minion, and I go, look, it's like one of the minions.
Oh, yeah, the one with the one eye.
Oh my god,
Oh, well, I was finding all sorts of shit at the
Oh.
airport.
that's
my God.
hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny.
If nobody understood that meme, you have to go back and watch the first video we played.
Oh,
I thought this was funny.
oh.
They were
That's
obviously
funny.
married,
Yeah, like half the robes are gone,
right?
or bandages.
Oh man, that was good. This is what we always talk about, right?
Yeah.
You can't use your own oil due to climate change. And what about the climate where their imported oil comes from?
That's what I keep saying.
Right?
Well, did you read the thing about how much gas it takes for the ship to bring the oil to the US?
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
was crazy. That was crazy.
And it's like, how?
It's like 290,000 gallons or something like
getting
that.
rid of the pipeline was a bad thing. Is that what you're saying?
A little bit.
Yeah,
The what?
A little bit. The pipeline.
pipeline.
The pipe.
That's a terrible idea.
So they
But-
closed the whole Keystone XL pipeline down, correct?
Correct.
Or just
Correct.
portion.
They
No,
closed the whole
closed
thing
it
down.
Closed it
Okay.
down.
And the reason I
But it's
asked,
still physically there.
right, because the reason I ask is I always read, some of the stuff that people post and comments and whatever. And there was actually someone that was like, listen, people, the Keystone pipeline is still up in operation. And I'm like, not that I was aware
No,
of.
it's not.
It's kind of like a hose. It all needs to be there or it doesn't really work well.
The Keystone Pipeline is meant to bring oil from Canada
Right.
down
To
to the
here.
southern U.S., right?
Yeah.
Isn't that where it goes, or does it?
I don't know where
stop?
it was
I thought it goes
stopping.
to the southern U.S.
It
if I
doesn't bring
remember
it to the
correctly.
southern. It brings it up along the northern somewhere to where we can then distribute it.
I thought it went down south. Though.
I don't think it came down south. I thought it was all up north.
No, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I didn't think it came that far south.
Does anybody know? And any
We
of our
are gonna-
audience members
Where
know?
is Kenny and Apple? Because they're gonna know.
Why are we paying higher prices for fuel that hasn't arrived yet?
Good
Hmm.
question.
Well, and the conversation Wendy and I were having a little bit earlier today was the fact that, Sasaki was out there spinning the whole. I mean, let's not even say they're spinning. They're outright lying.
Don't make fun of Peppermint Patty.
They are outright
Okay.
lying to the American people. They're not even spinning now with half truths. They are outright lying. When they sat there and said it has nothing to do with the administration.
It's all about Putin.
The president said that himself the other day. It has nothing to do with what the administration is doing. It is all the oil companies.
Which
or
I mean,
Putin.
to a certain degree,
Oh crap! It does.
I would agree with that because our government doesn't control what's happening with the oil. It's all the companies, right?
But
So you ready to know where
herein lies the other side of it. All right, so it's all about the private industry oil companies that are driving the prices up.
But why are they driving it up?
But
There's something
you're
else
telling,
out
but then
there.
why is the federal government going out and begging OPEC and all the other Saudi Arabia, UAE, they're even going and trying to work out deals with Venezuela and Iran for oil if it's the oil companies that are driving the prices up,
Right.
So the Keystone Pipeline System is an oil pipeline system in Canada that the United States commissioned in 2010 and now owned solely by TransCanada Corporation. It runs from the Western Canadian Sedimentary Basin in Alberta to refineries in Illinois and Texas, and also oil tank farms and an oil pipeline distribution center in Cushing, Oklahoma.
Huh. Interesting. No, Wendy, I didn't hear about that. Oh, no, I didn't read the rest.
He
of
couldn't
it.
stop.
Stop.
He couldn't stop
That's
Putin.
funny as
Couldn't
hell.
stop Putin.
Oh, Wendy.
So it does kind of come down a little ways. It came down farther than I thought.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't think it came down that far. I thought it went across the north. So
Well, the record profits are actually are the raw oil drillers and that area. It's not the refineries because they're buying it at higher prices now.
Well, exactly. So why is it?
Dan,
can we do that?
No.
No.
It's not gas that's running through there.
You
Oh,
guys
that's
ruin
funny.
my fun.
That's funny.
I mean, there's something that's driving this up. It's not like our consumption has gone up. That
No,
something's
actually,
happened.
we are off on our. So what little research I could do, I had a computer problem yesterday and today. So what little research I did was that we are off by 10, 12, 15% compared to what we were last year, or technically 2020.
Off by increase because I get
On how much
no,
we're
we're
using?
down. We're
We're
down.
down.
So what our
Yeah, because nobody.
consumption
Oh, from
was,
what we used last year.
our
well, last year a lot of people were still not going.
Well,
to
that's
work
what I'm
because of
saying. I figured
COVID.
less people weren't working, but now it's even less than
somewhere
that.
in there that we are down from 14,000 barrels a day or whatever it is. We're down to 12,000
using.
using. or something like that,
Interesting.
or available.
That's because Keith hasn't been driving to work.
Well, that's I mean,
Well,
trust
I
me, my F-150 unfortunately has been parked for way too long. Also,
Well, I thought they were
I now have a battery issue because it doesn't run. Seriously,
kind of like the pony. The pony's had a battery
and
issue.
Wendy's Mustang also doesn't get started enough to keep the battery charged.
What can you?
I know.
So I posted something on Facebook the other day. I had two pictures, and I purposely took a picture of Trump's last day in office at the Circle K up here.
Yeah.
Right. Gas was $2.99. This was February,
And
of
it already went up from
2021.
that. Like it was 280 something.
Yeah. So as soon as Biden got in off, it was hovering around 320.
Yeah.
340. Got up to there.
Within the first 6 hours, I think it was within the first 4 hours is when he shut down Keystone.
Right. And then prices started going up.
His prices started going up because as the oil executives rebutted what the administration was saying this week, and they came back and they said, whoa, just like you read, Keystone started in 2010 and still wasn't complete.
Mm-mm.
These things don't just, turn on a dime on and off. And so these things have, they have, where I was reading that they sometimes take 10 years, 15 years before they recoup the money that it takes to build this
to even build it.
infrastructure.
So they haven't even started making money on this yet.
So they're sitting there and they're saying, wait a minute, you started shutting us down and you're just doing this stuff. It all of a sudden becomes a political football, yay and nay. They have no choice but to stop because they can't make the risk anymore. There's no guarantee they're going to make their money.
Nope.
And like every other public company, they have to create a profit for their shareholders.
Mhm.
Yep. So that's crazy. And now it went up 60 cents in it overnight.
Pretty much, because it was $3.99 4 days ago, and
Well, it was three.
Now it's $4.50.
It was $3 because I always get my gas from Costco, and it was when I went to Sedona, it was $3.34 or something, and then when I filled up on Thursday after I got back, it was $3.98.
Jeez.
That's still cheaper than when
It is.
we were
And
back
then-
in Chicago. Chicago was that area, not city proper, but outside of it. Indiana and Illinois, they were running cheaper than we were up down here. And now they're more expensive. So when I filled up the rental car,
It's
it was
crazy.
$4.59 a gallon.
Well, the prices on there behind me, those are from California.
Yeah.
So
That's
Beverly
crazy.
Hills, $6,
And then-
$7.
Well, as of this morning, Texas is still right around $3.99.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Well, Texas has it right there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then the day that you filled up and actually took that picture, I filled up and Costco was 50 cents cheaper.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy, Chris?
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just, a $3.
$3.
Yep.
That's freaking nuts. All right, let's get through these memes.
Thanks,
I'm sure we
Biden.
have a lot of news to go through, right, John?
Not a lot, but we have quite a bit.
I thought this was good because of our emoji thing we did
Oh
a
my
couple
God.
weeks ago.
Hold on. Where's my eggplant? Oh, there's your peach.
Yeah.
So go back
That's
and
funny.
watch the
Where's your
episode
eggplant?
from about 4 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and
What memes
and
mean?
watch the memes
Quiz.
quiz. It was actually very enlightening.
Terrifying. It was terrifying.
It was funny.
I thought this was funny. That would be me.
That would be your mother. Oh my God, she's so mad.
That was good.
My glass is empty.
And just like that, Democrats brought back the 1918 pandemic, 1929 depression, 1968 race riots, and the 1973 gas lines.
All at the same time.
all at the same time.
And that takes talent.
Which leads to this one. Aliens watching season 2022 of Earth. They went from pandemic to World War III in less than 2 episodes.
I like the one in the front. He's like, but why?
And I thought you'd appreciate this, John, because of our conversation a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Right? Wouldn't that be
Sign
cool?
me up.
Oh,
That'd be fun.
I love that.
Good.
That's from that SNL skit with Chris Farley. I love that skit.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think so.
You think so?
You would think so.
Really good for a fully stocked shell, dollar rate of gas, 1.7 inflation, and a mean tweet.
I will take 10 mean tweets.
Right. Exactly.
Didn't really follow him, so I never seen his mean tweets. I'm so
Yeah, I
sorry.
know, right?
Yes. Amen to that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I sent
Yeah.
you that, and I was like, yeah, that's for real
100%.
happening right now.
because the oil is in Texas, but the dipsticks are in DC.
Oh, I like
And
that
it's
one.
a frozen custard stand.
Yeah.
That's the best.
You sent this
Yeah.
one. This one's pretty funny.
Even
That's
Rona
a
stopped
travel
traveling.
one.
You don't hear about her no more.
But we do today.
Well, who's been missing out of the
Where
news?
is that little short little
Oh, I
shit?
saw
I
one.
know.
I saw that meme too.
I didn't
yeah.
include it, but I did see one of him on the side
Running
of
away.
No, I saw one of him on the side of a milk jug.
That's great. That's the best, the little milk cartons.
That's
Yes.
funny.
You're like, somebody's missing.
Yep. Oh,
That's why Keith
Wow.
doesn't fill his up all the way.
Yeah.
that's
he
crazy, isn't it?
He'll only go to $80 and it makes him sad, so he stops.
Makes me cringe.
He
You're
can't
not
do
supposed
it
to
all the way.
spend that much.
Yep.
He can't do it. It's so funny.
All right, you ready for news?
Ready for news.
All right, let's do some
I
news
need
of
more
the
beer.
week.
All right. So obviously the big news is everything right now in the world is revolving around day 16, war in Ukraine, and Biden is calling for an end to the normal trade relations with Russia. So it seems that we have a ongoing issue with just kind of, I don't know, we half-ass it day to day. We can't seem to like turn it all on at the same time. I don't know. We cut the oil yesterday or the day before.
Day before, I think it was.
And now we've cut off
travel, right?
Well, the travel was several days ago or a week ago. Today was we stopped importing luxury items. No more caviar from Russia. No more vodka from Russia.
Did you say no more caviar?
Yeah.
Oh my
Right.
God, Hollywood's got to be crying.
My heart's
Right?
broken,
And
right?
no more vodka.
And no more vodka. So people stop throwing out, pouring out your vodka. The vodka you're probably pouring out is probably from Austin, Texas. So
Stop throwing it away.
stop throwing it away.
From Russia.
So there was a couple good things in here that I wanted to point out that I guess this just kind of gives you some ideas. This was actually very interesting. I found this. So this was the Russian sanctions dashboard, and it show all the different countries that are currently sanctioning Russia. Individual equities, all the different countries in here. World's most sanctioned. I mean, they are technically the world's most sanctioned country right now. That's over and above like North Korea or Cuba
We get everything from Russia. Russia is self-sufficient.
So I don't know if I'd say self-sufficient.
Pretty.
Their economy is their economy, and I was hearing this on the news the other day. Their economy is a fraction of ours, like really small, and so their economy is about the same of California and Texas's combined. I think is what I heard. So it's not huge in the respect that it's like a big behemoth. Germany's economy is actually bigger. So, but the fact is that they rely so much on exports to be able to make their money because they are not self-sufficient.
They can, but they can make everything they need.
Like John said,
they're not importing everything like we are.
But John said
True.
months ago that the bulk of their economy is based off oil, and if they
Yeah,
lost
well,
the
it's
oil,
based
they'd be-
off of what
they'd be
they're
they
selling.
are. They fluctuate back and forth between second and third largest oil exporter in the world.
But they can also sustain themselves if they're not selling oil.
I don't know. I don't know if they could.
Yes and no.
Because
one of the things that's
they're
interesting-
making food there, they're making their products there. They're not importing everything like we are.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they necessarily can make their own food because they are the
So
we are the world's breadbasket. We feed the vast majority of the world. Us and the European Union do the vast majority of the growing of food for most of the rest of the world.
But is that why I read an article today that isn't that part of why Russia invaded Ukraine back in
Yes.
was because of because they have the wheat fields and stuff. So they invaded for the wheat.
And that's very true. So I was talking to a friend of mine who is very big in the ag industry and said that, right? We would hear.
Oh,
That's funny,
my
Chris.
God. All the fatties are going to be sad.
That's-
But I guess Ukraine does supply like a large percentage of wheat for the entire
Yeah.
world.
Huge.
that's crazy.
So Still waiting on the EU to accept whether Ukraine's going to be accepted into the EU. I thought this was an interesting article. This is Ukraine and how it fits in the size of the United States.
Oh, wow.
So, here's Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, down here would be Tennessee and Kentucky, and then, Kentucky here, Tennessee there. I don't want anybody to say it.
So it's not huge, but it's not
huge,
little
but
either.
it's about
Right.
four or
yeah,
five
it's not
states.
little either. That's a good size.
It's a good sized chunk. So, Putin obviously overestimated the military might and underestimated the global response that he was going to get. Obviously, the United States is leading from behind in this, and that the European Union is really stepping up, and that was not something he had estimated. They're saying, all the experts, quote unquote experts, are saying that they did. He thought that the Europeans would kowtow because of the fact that they get so much energy, and Germany really stepped up to the plate. They get 40% of their energy from Russia, and they literally said, hey, this isn't right.
I wonder if he thought, knowing that Biden is weak, I wonder if he thought that if the U.S. didn't do anything, everybody would follow suit with the U.S., right?
That's what he
And that's
kind of
kinda what he thought.
anticipated.
But is the U.S. really doing something?
We're not.
We're-
We just started doing sanctions.
Yeah, I mean, we're following everybody else's lead on the sanctions.
So we're not doing anything.
Right. And
We're
then
going,
other than
"Oh,
that, I mean,
yeah."
they want to sit there and they want to, I guess we shouldn't technically say that we are doing nothing.
We're not coming
We
up
are
with
supplying
ideas.
the vast majority of the anti-tank missiles that they're getting. So the javelins are huge for them, and they
For
are
who though?
for the Ukrainians.
Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So they're doing a lot as far as giving the Ukrainians what they need to hold them
protect
off.
themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, I was listening to several news stories as I was down in Texas, and they were talking about back in the day. So during the Obama administration, they were sending the Ukrainians blankets and something else. I forget off the top of my head. Oh, blankets and night vision goggles. And the president of the Ukraine said that helps, but we can't really protect ourselves with a blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the night vision goggles are great, but
Yeah.
how am I supposed to? What am I going to run?
Yeah, what am I gonna? I can see him coming.
See him coming in the dark.
So
just
but that
just
was
watch?
it. And so, they were looking for more kinetic, offensive style weapons, and the Obama administration flat out said no. And so here we are in the 11th and a half hour, and trying to we're behind the times, and we're now sending them missiles that are protecting them. Now it is doing an incredible, you've heard the story of there's the 40-mile
The
convoy that's backed up outside of Kyiv, that these tanks are literally getting just blown up. They can't get more than, they're just crawling trying to get to Kyiv, and they can't get anywhere because of the fact that the offensive, they underestimated
The offensive.
what it was going to take from
And you saw them
Ukrainian
watching
people.
making the cocktails.
Molotov
Right, yeah.
cocktails.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
literally have grandma sitting there
Yeah.
pulling strips, and the girls are dumping everything in there, and they're
That's
putting them
awesome.
in buckets. And I'm like, heck yeah!
Yep, that's awesome.
Yep.
I'll dump out my Russian vodka to make a Molotov cocktail.
Right?
Right?
See, there you
Yeah.
go.
I like that, Chris. That's good.
That is good. So,
Late to the party.
Yeah, late to the party. He was getting ice cream, Chris. Okay, he was busy.
He was in line at
cleaning-
McDonald's.
He
getting
was
his ice
cleaning
cream.
his pants and getting ice cream. Let him be.
So in other news, so kind of switching from Ukraine for a little bit. So amid opposition from the left, more states are pushing for curriculum transparency. So trying to weed out where this, by what other name it comes across, it's still CRT, and trying to stop that, whatever the false narrative you're trying to push on children is. And then in the same token, oh, you have something to say?
I do. I truly think that it's already too late for them. Look at you've driven down our street. How many new schools do you see being built? We have 4 new schools that are charter schools because nobody wants their kids to go to government schools anymore.
Well, and that's true. So, I mean,
And I think that's great. I think it's 100% great.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they say parochial schools are at an all-time high right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
you
I
know,
think they're a little too, like Chris said, a little too late to the party.
But is that a sign that people are just getting sick of it? People are tired of it.
Yes.
People are over it.
Yes.
I mean, if somebody's going to build a brand new school, Legacy's dumping $3 million probably into that property.
Yeah.
Wow.
Easily. I
And
mean, it's
I
a
mean, you hear-
brand new.
And I know they're more of the exception than the rule, but you hear interesting stories of groups of parents that are going out and hiring
And getting-
their own teacher.
Absolutely.
And
the,
that makes
to do the
sense.
whole quote unquote homeschooling.
So you
but
have
with
to have 12 kids. You have to have one. I was reading a thing on it. I think it's
acceptance.
I think it's one licensed teacher and 12 kids, because that's the most one
1 to
teacher
12.
can do. Is then you can, if you get a business license, you can then make it a school and you can get paid by the government for
really
your stuff.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I want to say it's 1 in 12.
Are we
And
gonna-
if you
Interesting.
have an actual place for it, like if you can say, this is not just my home, but like this is my place, this is where we
Yeah.
go. So even if it's like a Bosa Donuts storefront in the shopping center,
I wonder if you could rent out like an industrial.
that's what I'm
space.
saying. I don't know. I know that it's 12 students to one teacher. And I think if you have 12 to 1, if you have that full amount of it, you can then go to the government and say, okay, I'm teaching these students. You get their $25,000 a year
Wow.
to now teach these kids.
That's an interesting thought.
So absolutely, I would 100% do that.
And it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
communism. We're still just at the socialism stage. Don't jump ahead.
But I think they're
The-
trying. I think
the
they're
C
trying to.
comes
though.
before the S.
I think they're trying to. I think I'll bring this up later if I do a semi rant. But I think you're starting to see
Semi-rant?
a shift. I really do. I think so much has been thrown at us in the last 2 years that people are just sick of it. We're just done with it.
Whether
we can
what
only
they
hope.
believe, they're
We can
just
only
over it.
hope.
I hope
We can only hope. Yeah.
Then you have my shirt, which you can't read,
we'll put it up.
but it's good. You have
And
a picture
then-
of it.
So did you see that Florida going kind of on that? So Florida passed the I meant to put it down. It was a Florida education bill, but the left was calling it the "Don't Say Gay" bill.
Yeah.
What?
What?
So it's a bill that the left, especially the media, national media, was saying they were calling it the quote unquote "Don't Say Gay" bill in Florida. So it just got signed by DeSantis, and technically the bill, nowhere in there does it say, and so that's kind of the second bullet point on there, is DeSantis says, find me where it says that. Because what ended up happening is it literally says in there to the effect of, don't bring up anything about sex, sexual orientation, any of that kind of stuff to anybody from third grade and under.
And I would agree with that.
Absolutely.
Kids don't know.
You don't need to be introducing them
No.
to any of
Under
that stuff.
under 6th grade.
Yeah,
Period.
seriously.
Well, this is under third grade. And so then the woke Disney people
Oh, jeez.
went
Oh,
to,
boy.
because Disney
Those
is
are the
the
people
largest,
that think the green M&M
because
can't wear
Disney is the
freaking high
largest
heels.
employer in the state of Florida.
Mhm.
And so the woke Disney people made the CEO of Disney call DeSantis and express his displeasure. And he says, tough.
I hope he
Move to a
answered the
different
phone.
state.
I hope
Yeah.
he answered the phone like I did today.
Yeah.
Which was?
How can I help you?
And
Who are
that's,
you?
And that's not happening.
Called me 3 times.
And she's like, "Who are you?"
Well, who are
Ron
you?
DeSantis did?
No, he
No.
did. No, me and him would still be
The
hanging
Disney
out.
Oh, you just
CEO?
text.
No, dude was from Florida. Dude called me 3 times. First time didn't say anything, so I hung up. Second time called me back,
Oh, John.
answered, and then
Oh,
hung up.
well,
And then the
yeah.
third
See,
time, I
it
was
when
like,
disagree with him.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hello,
it gets
how can I
somebody
help
more
you?
Fired up.
and
Yep.
he was like, "Can I speak to Lindsay Carroll?" Yes. How can I help you?
He respectfully disagrees with you. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's we'll get it to where there's
You're
no,
not supposed to be disagreeing in your new house, Dad. Stop.
we're gonna get it to where he stops with the
Don't.
Okay.
respectfully.
He's gonna,
That'll be
Just
next week
disagree.
while we're
When he-
drinking from his house.
when he starts dropping f-bombs, that's when you know you're in
Yes.
trouble.
He's
Yes.
too tired. He can't do that this week. Next week, you can rile him up.
Yes,
So then
sir.
finally we have
We made
broken
him work too
process
hard.
of omnibus bill reveals unnecessary spending that fiscally threatens our democracy.
What is an omnibus?
all encompassing, basically, is the way you want to read that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I thought it was
in
the
the
Transformer
billions
dude.
of dollars that they wanted to send to like $13 billion or something like that to Ukraine, they ended up
For
turning
blankets and night fishing goggles.
well, that's not a good thing. I mean, that's Obama's,
Yep.
but not Biden. But the $13 billion that they wanted to send to Ukraine, that ballooned to 1.2 trillion. Because
What?
again, they love getting into the T's.
Yeah.
Because they put all sorts of crap in there.
Of course, that isn't actually going to go to
Has
Ukraine.
nothing to do
Right.
with Ukraine. Literally was more
All the
pork
pork.
projects. They wanted to increase more spending for COVID relief.
Of course.
And the only thing that derailed it was the fact that several of the Democratic members of the House didn't like the fact that in order for there to be more COVID spending, they were taking COVID spending away from individual states. And then they were like, wait a minute, whoa. We want the money, but we're not taking away this money. We want all the money.
Oh,
Of
geez.
course.
Because again, it's not their money.
Right.
Of course not.
Exactly.
It's invisible money.
Yep, and it's so much easier to spend somebody else's money.
Right.
Well, and why is a bill 900 things?
Well, that again, Chris's point.
Right.
What's hidden in the bill? There's always shit hidden in the
Oh,
bill.
what?
We don't get to see
It should
And
be
Chris, it
one,
was-
One thing.
one
it was-
thing.
You want to
was-
save Ukraine? This is the shit we're going to do to save Ukraine. Done. That's it. You don't get to add in COVID relief. You don't get to add
And
in
they're not even
save
following.
a fat puppy dog. Like, you don't get to add that crap in.
They're not even following House procedures.
Have they ever been?
But see, they put in procedures, and then when it suits them, whoever the leading party is in the House, either side, then that's what gets followed. But if it doesn't suit them, then it doesn't. And again, this doesn't matter which political philosophy, it's both sides. But I saw an interview with a state rep from somewhere, I didn't even catch who, and they were talking about how this 5,800 page bill
5,800 pages.
How can you
dropped-
even read that?
dropped
You can't.
That's
dropped in their lap,
5,000.
and they are required to have 72 hours to read it.
Yeah.
And they wanted-
5,800
And
pages.
Nancy wanted a vote within 24 hours.
I mean,
That
it's-
hooker didn't read it herself.
Well, she didn't need to. She's the one that's helped putting it together. All she cares about is make sure it's got that, make sure it's got that,
Right.
make sure it's got that.
I mean-
she could care less about the rest of it.
isn't
I
this
would
how
have
we
asked her a
ended up
question
with
about it.
Obamacare? Because they did the same thing. That is just so wrong. It's
Well,
so
I guess the
wrong.
good thing with Biden, he probably sent over $1 trillion of Dairy Queen or something.
Well,
So-
Biden was the one
He
that
is really helping local
Biden
ice
was the
cream
one
shops.
that was insisting on the fact of increasing the COVID relief.
Of course he is. He's
Yeah.
got to keep Fauci's
And
job.
so that's what pissed everybody off, because now all of a sudden this got included, taking away money from the states, and that was his insistence. And then now all of a sudden the House is going, whoa, this is not what we asked for.
Right.
And so now you got, while Nancy and Joe are, hugging in front of the camera, they are not
Hold
happy
on.
with each other right now. Yeah, that stupid ass, whatever she's doing, rubbing her knuckles
Whatever
together.
the fuck that's about.
Oh my God. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. So
All
the
right.
convoy, the People's Convoy, have you seen
Yes.
some of the
Yes.
pictures? So they had some really fantastic
Yes.
turnouts.
And
There's-
they're in Washington right
they're
now.
in Washington.
Okay.
They're
Mhm.
hanging out in Hagerstown, Maryland right now. They go and they do a daily run around the Beltway,
Okay.
and they are making themselves known. How much have you seen
Not a single
Nothing.
thing.
on
mainstream?
on
Nothing.
mainstream
Nothing.
media? Nothing. Not a
Nothing.
word.
I see a lot of pictures of people over the bridges with the flags
Yeah.
and everything
That's
happening.
cool,
That's
isn't
really
it?
cool.
That's
Very
super
cool.
neat.
They have lots
huge-
of support.
So
Yeah.
we are going to be getting
a
from the guy
convoy?
who made these shirts.
A convoy.
No, an ice cream truck, but that would be awesome. You're going to be the first people we pick up when we get our ice cream truck. I'm just letting you know. Our guy who makes our shirts said he's going to get trucker shirts.
Nice.
And I
Oh,
said,
cool.
I will be here and I need 4 of them.
Having for
Yeah.
next week's episode.
Absolutely. I'm hoping. He said he hopes his printer guy can get them done. So I'm going to
Okay.
check with him this week.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Cool.
I'm so excited.
Other news in social
So-
life. So Alex Baldwin is attempting to distance himself distance himself from blame for the Rust shooting.
Well,
We're
of
still
course.
talking about that.
Yes.
Distance himself how? Like a hand's
He's
length
basically
away?
trying to say I had nothing to do with it.
He pulled the trigger.
He's
Right.
trying to claim, because again, the outright lying seems to be spreading. He's
It
all-
wasn't.
me.
he's all but saying that
It
he wasn't
wasn't-
there.
It just went off.
Somebody gave me a loaded gun.
So there is, sorry, it was so funny, and you're not going to understand what I have to say until I tell you the story. So me and my parents used to watch Cops all the time. Like that was, come on now, I grew up in the 80s.
That
Like
was a
that's what
great
you
show.
watched. That's what you watched after dinner. Was you watch Cops? And there was always some drug dealer on there who was getting patted down by the cops, and there'd be like heroin or coke or speed or something in his pocket, and he'd be like, "Officer, these aren't my pens.
Right.
These aren't my pens, man. These are my
I
pens."
just right. Yep.
And so that's what I feel like Alec Baldwin saying, these aren't mine. This is my pants.
Right. Exactly.
It's not my gun. It wasn't me.
Oh,
Like,
Chris
I-
wants shirts.
Chris,
too.
if you want a shirt,
Oh,
we'll,
yes.
we'll get you a shirt.
Text me what size you guys want.
Yeah. Good.
You
Text us your
and Audra,
sizes. Yep.
please.
Anybody else want shirts? Let us know. We'll send them to
I know
you.
Chris. Well, I don't know if Christina want one.
Oh, could
She
we?
might.
Put
She's
a,
like
could we be?
50-50.
Can we put a?
It's the guns.
It's the,
It's the
yeah,
gun-
but
it's
these are my
always the
pants.
gun's
It's
fault.
the gun's fault. Like it wasn't. He
It went
totally
off
did
by
it.
Could we
itself.
put a CTC logo on it?
Ooh.
We might be able to get him to do
Maybe on the
that.
back or something.
Might be able to get him to do that if we
On what shirt though?
on
Any
the,
of
on,
them.
on the
I
sleeve.
want a
Like-
shirt of Biden with that rainbow ice cream cone.
Oh my God.
That
Here we
would-
Oh
go.
my God.
Here we
Shitting his
go.
pants.
Here we go.
like this.
Well, now
Holding his ice cream.
now I want a shirt with the plane with the 3 Borises in it.
Oh. That with
Yes,
Yes.
with the one. Yeah, with the one
The one,
mask
the minion one.
sticking
Wasn't
out.
that
of
great?
his fore- He can't see, but he can.
He's
got that thing sticking out of his
fine.
Christine
forehead.
wants one too.
okay.
Christine, you'll get yours when we
When
ship
I
out your
sh-
Christmas.
when I ship out this
From
last Christmas,
Christmas.
stuff with the new Christmas stuff
it's,
from
really,
last year.
it's really not funny. But
In sports
I'm
news,
so
Major
sorry.
League Baseball reaches
back.
an agreement with the
That's
Players Association. This was a last minute thing, so
Oh, really?
baseball will be on this year. And
What
business-
about spring training?
I'm not sure. I tried finding something, and again, I had computer problems, so I didn't get a chance to check that out. But
Because that's going to affect my life.
why? Oh, because you're hooked
'Cause
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
so in business news,
My work life.
so everybody probably heard that inflation numbers came out yesterday.
Nothing to see here.
We're only at 8%. It's totally fine.
7.9%.
Beautiful.
Highest in more than 40 years.
That's fucking great.
Why would it fucking not be? That's my whole life.
so
My whole life.
in this article, I actually wanted to just show it to everybody. So so Investopia has this great article. It's probably about a 3 or 4 minute read. It's from August of 2021, but it really is a kind of a good explanation. It's not real super long, but it talks about all the different types of inflation and basically,
okay.
and that's about it right there. That's the bottom line. So it's not a huge article, and but it kind of gets you up to speed on inflation. The
That's
short,
cool. The different types, because I never knew.
the one that's really what you need to know is the fact that you sit there and you take $1 and all of a
Mhm.
sudden it can buy less.
Yes.
That's the bottom line of what inflation
Right.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea is that now your dollar is buying less.
Mhm.
And so we're just going to, it's a something that needs to be fixed.
Well, when you when you were growing up, you used to go to the candy store with what? A nickel, a quarter, a dime.
I'm not that old.
$1 would get you a big bag. Of
A
candy.
dollar would get
Yeah.
you a big
Yeah.
bag of
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. You could go in with a quarter and get 5 pieces of candy and leave.
Right.
Right.
I grew up, you'd have to have $1 and you could get 2 pieces of candy.
Well, and
And that's just in that short time frame.
you can go back. Cars are always a good one. Big durable goods, right? Durable goods are always the thing that you can go because now cars are up. I think they said it's
Oh,
12%.
they called me twice. So my car is a year
Little
old,
over a year.
little
Oh, they
over
want
a
it-
year.
They want it.
They want it back. we'll give you a new car for the same price
bet you
payments.
will.
I bet you will.
Yeah.
Bet you will. You gonna pay mine off? Because you ain't gonna pay it off.
So, I always think of the
Yep.
idea that is there really
Chris
even a
and-
middle class
Chris
anymore?
and I just got
There
here.
is, and I don't because, and there was another article that I was reading last week or something like that talked about the different classes, and I wish I'll have to see, Chris, if I can find that article for next week, because it really did have a good definition of like
The classes
of what the classes, and
defining.
there was like upper middle class, lower middle class,
Mhm.
and then there was the working class, and then there was the poor.
So
And there was the elite leadership class. There was something in between the elite leadership and the upper middle class. I forget what it was, but it was interesting in the respect that it talked about how not purchasing power, but more like standard of living.
So I think about it real simple, and everybody's going to laugh, and it's fine. It's totally good. So I think about it in my life as, so you go from like the poor. Okay. So the poor is trying to figure out how to put gas in your car. Like, let's make it real simple. And this is when gas was cheap. How to put gas in your car. So I know that I have to feed my kids. I have to do this, but I know I have to put gas in the car to go to work. So that's I'm going to consider the lower poor class. Then you have the middle class, to where you're like, okay, I can put gas in my car and not worry about like whether or not I can feed the kids, but I can only do so much in the car. Like, I can't fill it up all the way, so I won't be able to drive extra. Then you have the people who are like, oh, I can put the full tank in, and like I can still pay for my gas. Then you have the people who are like, oh, I can just fill up the tank and not like I don't have to look at the bank account because I'm okay. And then you have the people who just don't care and spend whatever money they have. And then you have the people who don't even drive their car because somebody drives them.
Right.
So I just barely got to where I don't have to watch the bank account when I fill up the gas tank. And I feel like I just went to the very bottom
Christine,
to where I don't know if I could fill it up all the way.
Right.
But that's
What
actually
happened?
that's actually a good analogy.
Yes,
It is,
like,
yeah.
it's that simple. Like, you get to because you're like 17, 18, and you're like, oh, I got $50. Okay, so I can put 20 in the car. Like, how far will that get me? And you're
Right.
doing the math, and like, then you get to the point where you're like, oh, I'm okay. Like, I can fill up the car, but maybe, I'm gonna watch the bank account.
Right.
And then you get to the point where you're like, oh, I can fill up the car, and I don't need to watch the bank account. And I just barely got there, and I'm on the way back. It's terrible.
And
Chris, I didn't even get to enjoy it.
and we have a lot of people in Washington that are driven around
Yeah,
that,
They have
are,
no-
that
that's
are
what I'm saying.
supposed to be the ones that are concerned about
Those
Everybody
are the
else.
economy.
Those are the elites. I'm like, you don't even know because you're not filling that gas tank. Like, you're not watching those numbers roll by like the death ticker with COVID.
And that's why-
Like,
that's
it's
one of the
They are
reasons why-
so out of touch.
And that's why I really like that Representative Boebert. So
Not Buttigieg.
no, Boebert is from Colorado, and she was or is her and her
Sorry,
husband own a restaurant
Mhm.
back in Colorado. So they're small business owners, and she was so tired of the BS. That's what made her run, and she is another one of those lightning rod type people. And she wore that drill baby drill sash or whatever it was at the
Nice.
State of the Union. And when you heard all the people, all those House and senators boo during the State of the
Mhm.
Union, that was because she yelled out from the back something about this 13
The 13, yeah.
that had died
Mhm.
during the
She
And
said,
nobody
what,
gave a
she
crap.
said, what about the 13? They all
What
went, boo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that.
So I mean, she's become a real lightning rod, and I like her because
Who is
of the
she?
fact- I forget her first name, but
Where's she from?
I know.
Colorado.
We need to go be
Colorado?
friends
Okay.
with her.
Yeah, so she really is one of those. She's one of us. She's a very down home, very she's not
One of them.
Yeah, she doesn't come from some kind of political elite. She doesn't have millions of dollars sitting
She's
in
not
the
been
bank.
bred into this.
No, I mean her husband, I think, is still at home just running the restaurant. So
But that's
Nice.
that's what I'm saying. That's my point is, we talked about a few episodes back, the 5 Navy SEALs. Remember who were going to run for office?
Oh,
We
yeah,
talked
what
about
happened
those
to them?
guys.
yeah.
I think people are reaching that point where other people want to step in and make a difference.
Absolutely.
And it's people you wouldn't think that would ever be political. You know what I mean?
And we need those people.
Hey,
We
I
need
already
to
told
stop-
you I'll run for office if y'all help me get my shit together.
Well, and we need to stop having these political elite people that'll sit there. So,
Chris, you ready?
well, and this brings up a good point. This is something I was, in listening to the news and stuff like that. I was doing a lot of driving, from Dallas down to San Antonio this week, and so I got to listen to a lot of news. And something was brought up about Putin, who has been in running Russia for 20 something years.
Ever.
Yeah.
And so he's dealt with 4 different presidents.
Mhm.
And so he feels a little bit, or did maybe,
Entitled.
well, not entitled, but a little bit more just kind of indifferent because of the fact that, seen one
He's been
president,
through
seen
all
them
this,
all,
yeah.
big deal. They come and go. I'm still here. And somebody was making an argument that maybe we need to change the structure of how, because it used to be before FDR that you could, there was nothing that said in the Constitution how long you could run for office
Right.
as president. And it was like, you know what? There's actually something to be said, because I know there was a conversation we had when we talked about this, I don't know how many episodes ago, and somebody said that we needed 25th Biden. I said, and I remember at the time I said, unfortunately, the 25th Amendment is not a recall.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the question was, but do we need to rework the 25th Amendment, recall, pull it back, redo it? Oh, she's getting text messages for somebody. And let the
He
president
votes
run.
for Pedro.
Huh?
What?
Oh, shit.
That was bad.
I vote
Viva
for
la
Pedro.
Lindsay. I would
Vote for
vote for
Pedro.
Pedro.
Yes.
See?
But maybe we should let the president run.
I'll get
Ru-
shirts like
Let the
that.
president run for longer, but we can also have a recall mechanism.
Hmm.
And maybe
No, we don't like you. You're gone.
Yeah, say, hey, this isn't working
No,
out.
you're really not
this
getting
is-
your shit done.
Yeah,
Bye.
and it's not time to recall you.
Like a 90-day review.
Because
Right.
as it sets right now, the unfortunate part is the president sits there and the first 4 years
You
is
don't
basically
see
running
anything
for
they
the second.
do. Yeah.
It's just running for the second 4 years, and then
Right.
the second
So-
4 years is when they feel like they've got the
They can
cuffs off,
actually-
and they, and it's like, well, maybe they should run. And I know it's been floated about 6-year
Lauren-
terms for years.
Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, she is awesome. And so,
Yeah. Like say you got 8 years, but 4 years in, we have to,
No,
or
I
6
would
years
say
in.
make it for 8 years.
Yeah. Do 8 years.
Do an 8-year presidency.
Yeah.
Boom, right out of the gate.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
but
you can be
keep this in
recalled
mind,
every
though.
year.
keep this in mind, we would be stuck
Not
with
every year's-
Biden for 8 years then.
But you can be recalled every year.
We're gonna be but
yeah,
you don't. But
who-
the first
who's
year,
doing the recalling though?
That's where you make the states do it.
our
Not
states
con-
can't
See,
get
not
that
the
gets-
federal
that
our
government.
starts
states
getting
can't
Not
get
the
their
states
stuff
do
together
it.
already.
But see, I still think because
gets
again, the
messy.
Constitution was written originally that the states were supposed to have the ultimate power.
Yeah. Well,
So have the state
how's that going for
legislatures.
us?
The state legislatures can put a recall vote in. You have, you work out the mechanism, play with the numbers any way you want, similar to like a Title V for doing an amendment to the Constitution. So many state legislatures have to put in for a recall.
Mm,
And then once that initiates, then the state legislatures for all 50
have to do
have to do
whatever,
a
yeah.
vote as to whether there's a recall or not.
But is that any different than what we have now? We can do that now.
But see, the president isn't always running them. Now the president is sitting there and making the people happy so he doesn't get a recall
It's true.
instead of out there campaigning.
Here's the problem, though.
And see, and therein lies because now you're not worried about your base in California and your base in New York or your base in
That'd be
Texas, depending
great.
on which it is.
So
But
who would
then-
we recall then? Like Chris said, would it be the Trump? Would it be the Trump? Would it be the president
Previous?
before them?
If there is a recall, then that's a good question, Chris. And do you install the VP or do you go back to a new vote?
God, no, not the VP.
I mean, I think
She's
I mean,
too
that's
busy
a
being
good-
a
I mean,
hooker.
I mean, that's
Right, Christine?
but that is a good question because I didn't think that
Who
part
would
through.
who would be there?
I was just assuming in my head just a revote.
But here's the problem. Okay.
But a
That's
revote. for
it's all
who?
well
That's
and
the
good.
issue.
It's all well and good if you have fair elections, but we don't even have fair elections anymore. We have to cheat our way to bring somebody in office.
right.
Yeah, and how do we uncheat that to get it right?
We got to get back to having fair elections before we can even
true.
think about something like
but
that.
the military can't vote, honey. It's very hard for them.
Yes, it is. But I go back, I don't want to get off topic, but when we talked about before with the convoy, when you see people on the bridges and shit with all the flags and everything, it's really cool, real patriotic, right? We saw the same thing
Where
with
are those
Trump,
people?
especially here in Arizona.
I've been
in Arizona since 2000. I don't know when you guys came here, but
16.
So 2016. I have never in any election, I have never seen convoys like that to support a president.
I've never seen rallies like that.
They shut down freeways.
The president comes to the state and you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to go downtown because like everybody's going to be out there.
And you're telling me
this was literally the whole freeway.
They shut down 10,
17.
17.
It was insane.
And you're telling me Biden won Arizona.
And that's, I mean,
and you're telling me that every single house that we saw, how long did it take me? 8 months
to find one Biden
sign. And I was driving back and forth almost because that was when I was working at the hospital.
Yeah.
I was like 4 days a week. I was at the other house because I was working on it to get it sold, to get it rented. So, and I was super excited when I found a Biden sign because I'm like, oh, look, there is one down here. There's one Biden sign. Woohoo! And this is downtown Phoenix where he should have, like, if he's going to win Arizona, that's where he would have done it from.
Dan, I respectfully disagree.
One sign. And it was a tiny little sign.
Because
so like we had
and I say
flags
that because
covering houses out here,
right,
for Trump.
Like someone that I know.
I disagree with that because
Obama
was a constitutional scholar. He's read it.
Doesn't mean he didn't believe in the Constitution.
He just said they don't read it.
No, he said they don't care what the Constitution says.
Well, he cared about it. He didn't necessarily follow it. He just.
Sorry, Wendy, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was reading Chris's comment.
I don't even remember what I was going to say now.
One Biden sign.
Oh, I know. So someone had mentioned to me there, that with all the fraud that supposedly happened with the elections, that they're basing what actually happened or what trickled down through the court systems or what didn't trickle down, what didn't happen in the court systems as a sign of, see, there was no fraud. And I'm like, but there's and I know you
my aunt said the same thing.
John, I know, watched so much of that, and the cases didn't get thrown out due to lack of evidence. They got thrown out due to technicalities. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I sat there and I watched
hundreds
of people in multiple states sit there and raise their right hand and swear that they saw, we'll call it quote unquote abnormalities, things that clearly they thought was not right.
So it's like a killer that, okay, you got direct evidence
against you.
We
see you shot the dude, but the cop didn't pat you down right. I'm so sorry.
Right. So you got off with a technicality. Right. Does that necessarily mean that you
didn't really shoot the dude? Oh, it's Alex Baldwin.
Right.
There you go.
These are my pants, so it's fine.
It's Alec Baldwin, not Alex.
Whatever. Right.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a shot.
Yes.
In my Texas loans. Oh, me and Wendy are the same.
So did you see that Kamala Harris was asked while she's on her European trip?
Why she's a hooker?
No, she got asked, how long is the inflation going to go on? And she went on to this long rambling, yada, yada, yada.
Was it more impressive than her Russia?
And she finally just said, no, it was.
It's a big country.
It was even less informative than that. At least when she was sitting there and being, teacher obvious, she at least explained it correctly.
Oh, okay. Even though
Russia's
a big country and Ukraine's a little country.
This one, she just sat there and she just rambled on a bunch of silly ass things
and knew nothing,
and then said, "Look at a map," and that was how she,
I have to take this off screen real quick because I got to point out
how long will inflation go? And she said, "Look at a map."
I got to point out the fact that
Wendy has a nipple.
It's got a pour spout on it.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
So your moonshine mason jug has a pour spout on it.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Of course.
Yours
I
doesn't?
I don't have any.
It's hard to pour at the beginning though because your air has to be able to go in. There you
I
go.
thought that was interesting.
That one's mine.
So this is the banana cream.
Yes, this is the good stuff.
Oh, this is so good. This is candy.
What'd you think of that beer, John?
it smells so good.
It's good. I like it.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
So there's a good article
Thank
in
you,
here, and this is from, where's this article from?
So
this is from the Washington
at least
Examiner.
for when she explained why the war is happening, she was at least correct saying that Russia's a big country and Ukraine is a little country.
Yeah, she was not
This one-
factually incorrect.
This one she just made up.
Yes, she
Oh.
got asked. She was with the head of state of like Bulgaria or something like that, and she got asked by a reporter, "How long do you think the inflation is going to last?" And she went on this long, well, you know, this
And says,
that,
look at a
this and
map.
that. Yeah, and then instead, and at the end, she just goes, "But just look at a map."
That's helpful.
So weren't we having the conversation about some reporter that asked a question, same kind of thing, and they come up with this ridiculous answer
They never answered the question.
and they
That
never
happens all
answer the
time.
question. I would be like, excuse me, but can you actually answer the question that I asked you?
Right?
Because I'm not sure what
Oh,
you
I
just told me
saw-
to look
Right.
at a map, but can we like actually answer the question I just
Right.
asked you?
I saw a great.
I'd be kicked out real quick.
So one of the opinion shows on Newsmax literally had an episode from The Simpsons where each one of the students were playing a different country, and Bart had to play Libya. And so Bart was literally, he just got, you know, and he's like, "Bart, give your report on Libya." And so he literally, and he takes these pieces of paper and he, you know, like, you know, squares them up on the table, and they do a shot of Bart looking at the paper and they're blank, and he just makes up all this blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah, and they're going, "See, this is exactly where Kamala got her
See, that's where she learned it from.
That's great. You're right, Chris. Right now we're the Titanic. We're going down.
Yes.
Yes,
Sadly.
unfortunately.
Sadly.
Yes.
We hit
you know, and the funny
iceberg.
thing is they keep saying, you know, all the stuff that they predicted about Trump, he was going to start World War III, you know, all this kind of stuff, and it's like, you know, he's going to ruin the
what are
economy.
one president
And yet,
behind.
yeah, we were just off by one president.
Yep. It's happening now.
So,
So
there's
close.
this really good article in the Washington Examiner. It talks about reducing inflation in 3 big steps. It was really kind of a great article. I didn't want to go into it. I just grabbed the 3 steps, though. The first one was actually having a monetary policy. It's obviously an opinion piece, but it talks about how they need to. Janet Yellen is out there, and she just kind of waffles on everything. And she never really seems to be in control of what is going on. And she's the Treasury Secretary, for God's sake.
Mhm.
And so
You know numbers. That's fine.
she
You
has
don't
that.
need to know
I mean,
anything
she
else.
honestly has a deer in headlights look on her face every time they interview her, because she's like, "Oh shit, they're asking me questions again," and she makes up shit. So again, it's like, you know, have an actual monetary policy. The second one was stop the needless spending, and the third one was that they're saying that we probably need to go back on the gold standard, at least in some modified effect.
Right.
And it was a really good article. And again, I suggest everybody go to the Washington Examiner and actually look it up. Reduce inflation in 3 big steps. It was a good article. I thought.
So I want to know then. So if we're going to go back to the gold standard, like, is having cash in your closet going to be worth something, or is that just going to be nothing?
There's no way to ever make inflation. You can reduce inflation, but inflation will never go negative.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're stuck with what we're stuck with. So cars being what they cost,
So we're never
now,
going to go back down.
it's never going to go
No.
back down. Gas prices, because it's a commodity. Commodities will reduce in price.
Yeah.
But hard sellable, hard goods, you're stuck with it because it is what it is.
Yeah.
So what cars cost now, and the 13%.
It's not going to go down.
Yeah, the 13% increase in new car sale, or for a new car, or what it costs to now buy a dishwasher, and those types of durable goods. It is what it is. We're stuck with it. It's just like it was, back in the 70s when a car used to cost $5,000
For a brand new,
Yeah,
brand new
spanking ass
car, and
convertible.
now all of a sudden, up until 2020, it would cost
20.
I think the average car cost was somewhere around $28,000 or
Yeah.
something like that. It's just, it happens, right? But it used to happen in small increments. Now we're just making this big giant leap.
I saw a great meme that I forgot to put up here, but it said something like, "Congratulations for your $15 an hour,
Job that you
minimum
wanted.
wage that you can only afford now what you afforded on $7.50 an hour or
Right.
something
Yep.
like that."
Exactly.
And
Yep.
it's we
And
knew
why
it
did-
was going to
why
happen.
did-
We
why
said
did
that
they
though.
think that? Why do they think and everything? And this is one super big reason on why we had the parents get the house was because minimum wage went up to $15 an hour. Did their Social Security go up?
No.
Did
of
that
course
milk
not.
gallon gonna depend on whether or not you're on a limited income? No.
Mm-mm.
So I'm like, you have to take away the things you can that are going to stop on inflation.
And we said that from the beginning. When they wanted to raise it to 15. We're all like, okay,
It's
you guys
not
are
gonna change
idiots
anything.
because you're going to get your 15,
Which means
then
that money you're
everything
making
else is going to go up.
Yeah.
Right. So your money
That
is still
sandwich is still nothing.
Right.
That
I mean,
sandwich you're
it's-
making is still going to cost $10 instead of $5 because they have to pay you now.
right.
Right.
It's
Like,
my
that's not gonna
opinion, but I think what
change.
ends up happening,
It just
unfortunately,
took a little longer to get there.
we as a society, an American society, we are
We're doomed.
conditioned that the government is trying to do what's in our best interest. And I used to say
No.
for years, but see, even I
Mhm.
used to say for years, left or right, Democratic or Republican, most presidents go in there trying to do what they think is right.
Mhm.
Jimmy Carter, who, up until Biden was always considered the worst president ever, modern president,
Yeah, well,
and he still thought he was doing the right thing.
I'm sure he
he
did.
wasn't trying to purposely. Now you
Smash
don't
the
know.
world, yeah.
Now you don't know what Biden's doing because there's all the speculation.
He
and
doesn't know what he's
I
doing.
was gonna say,
Poor
all the
thing.
speculation that some of these things they're trying to, they are actually in the background, gleefully hoping prices for oil goes up even more
Sure they are.
because of the fact that now,
That's how you push everybody into socialism, right?
well, that's how you push everybody to electric vehicles.
Yep.
And
I can tell you
they're
right now-
talking about
With gas going to whatever $30 a gallon, I will not be buying an electric car because I won't be able to afford 2 fucking car payments. So no, suck a wiener. I thought you were gonna say
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
I'm on my first shot and my second beer. So, but
Are you saying you need another shot?
yes, I do.
Hold on.
I still like this one with the electric car. I'll buy a donkey and I'll name him Brandon.
Yes, absolutely.
I
But,
will. We have a lady up the road who has donkeys.
Yes, we do.
We'll go buy them from her.
God love Arizona, right?
Oh, I love Arizona.
So
Gotta
as you're
love
drinking shots
Santan
out of a
Valley.
Texas
Holy
glass.
shit. Right? Yeah. exactly.
Absolutely. I'm buying a fucking
Oh,
donkey.
I will say,
How
having
mad
spent all
do
week
you
in
think
Texas, I
Amanda would
love
be if I
Texas,
took a donkey to work?
That'd be fun.
She'd probably love it.
But shit, now I forgot what I was
Oh,
going to
that's
say.
super full. Oh, that makes me happy. We should probably not get kicked off YouTube today.
Probably not.
Oh, come on. At least
Hey.
make it fun.
But we did
All
meet
right,
some
it
very
is-
nice
It is
people
already after
today.
8:00, and we're still working on the
Yeah,
news.
John's got to
I'm
go.
I'm so sorry.
Keep digressing.
And we digress.
This is
There's
kind of
just
hard.
a lot of,
There's a
off.
lot,
Christine, me too.
right? We'll have to do it.
Hey,
That's
Chris.
awesome.
Chris, you're not supposed to
Oh
tell Keith
my
how I fill up the
God.
car,
Oh
okay?
my God.
Well, unless inflation goes higher, then it won't.
I can tell you right now, but I do know how to suck a hose to get some gas out of a tank. I'm just letting you know.
Is that code for something?
It
Nope.
might.
Not
It might
German.
just be.
So Putin said that he was going to get gas prices up. He was going to get oil prices up to $300 a barrel.
Holy shit.
Do you know what $300 a barrel
Wait,
translates to?
wait, what?
A
what-
fucking
what was
shit
that?
ton of
Sorry.
money. What? I'm so sorry.
I know.
It'd be
We're-
3 times what gas is now.
It would be $12 a gallon.
Right.
Fuck you.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
It would be. It'd be 3 times what it costs now.
Yeah. $12.
That would cost.
That's what they actually calculated out.
Hold,
It would be-
please.
It would be $12 a gallon.
No wonder
Jesus
people are stealing
Christ.
bikes around here.
Right?
I
12
saw-
times. That would be 100. Yes, it really did just take me that long. I'm so sorry. It would be $120 to fill up my tank.
Yeah.
It would be $240 to fill up your
When
tank.
6 months ago, it cost you $29 to fill up your tank.
Me, yes. It cost you 60. That's why you stopped. And now you stop at 80 and you're not even halfway there.
Unfortunately, the trucks do have a drinking problem, don't they?
They
Yeah.
do.
Unfortunately,
That's
they
why
do.
it only goes to the gym and it comes home.
Yes.
So,
He's limited.
as we
to
said
his-
earlier, the mask mandates are still in place for the
Oh, I
FAA.
don't have it.
Poison Control Centers warn that toxic chemicals are in the at-home test kits.
I saw that.
I know, surprise, right? Did you see Jesse
Did you see
Smollett?
my surprise? My
That was- look at
surprise
Lindsay's
face?
Surprise
shock
face.
face.
This
Did
is
I not tell?
You've been saying that.
right?
You've been
Fucking
saying it.
Ugh.
You need. I wonder if you could get one of those bells that used to be on the desk.
Ding,
at
ding,
A
ding,
no
ding,
shit
ding.
button? I'm
right.
So
So,
I gotta ask. So because the government had ordered so many of these test kits for people to be able to
gonna be readily available.
right, they were all made from China. When we were in, what was it, Walgreens or CVS the other day, we actually did pick one up, that one of the at-home test kits, and it
60 bucks each.
I don't know the cost,
No.
but they were
One
made.
of my
they were
girlfriends
made in
just
the
paid
US.
60 bucks for hers.
but they were.
What?
60 bucks for hers at Target.
Wow.
60 bucks each. Yep.
But I bet it was made in the US. So let me
Might not have been. I don't know. She bought it from Target. I have
So-
no idea.
so let me ask the
Well,
ones
Carter put those idiots in place. So, who was the idiot that puts the idiots in place?
so let me ask.
I'm
So
not
the ones
sure how to answer that question.
the ones that are toxic, have they is it all of them? Is it the ones that came from China?
It's the
Is it the ones-
ethanol. It's the ethanol oxide that they sit in.
Okay. So it's all of them.
99% sure. I haven't seen which ones. I don't know what the at-home ones are made out of, but anything that holds that swab, because that ethanol oxide is an alcohol. So that's what they keep the swab in before you swab yourself, and then you put it in the other tube.
Man, my conspiracy
that's what-
hairs are tingling right now.
Oh,
Feel it? Did you shave them off?
I can
is that
feel
again?
it.
Is that code for something?
I mean,
Right.
does it have to be sitting in that
That's how it
solution?
preserves the Q-tip, essentially.
What, like a Q-tip's
doesn't
gonna
say.
That's what-
disintegrate?
Fucking, I don't know.
That's what I don't understand. I mean, a Q-tip does not
It's a Q-tip.
disintegrate.
A Q-tip is a Q-tip.
Right. Why is it sitting in anything?
Because
Why?
they have to keep the Rona fresh
Whoa,
on
whoa,
the
whoa, no,
Q-tip.
but isn't on the Q-tip? Isn't it whatever agent that reacts to the virus? Isn't that on the Q-tip?
That's on
You
the
would
Q-tip,
think.
yes.
So that's
but they're-
what's preserving it. Is
well, the ethanol oxide is what's keeping it.
So it's not about the Q-tip degrading; it's about the product that actually determines. Whether
I
or
don't
not
know
you
if the
have
ethanol
virus.
oxide keeps that product. I have no idea.
It must. Why else would they use it? Unless again,
I don't
can
know.
conspiracy hairs,
The
I can
ethanol-
see it in
but-
like the test tube,
right?
but the swab is just
so you pull the swab out of the thingy,
the thingy.
Package,
the thingy,
the package.
and you like
This is where
pull
I
it
wish
out,
I had
and
a-
then it's gonna.
This is where I
then you
wish I had a
swab,
zipper sound effect.
zzz, and then you swab, and then you put it in the tube. This is what happens when I'm not in the hospital for like 6 months. So you pull it out of the thingy, you swab, and then you put it in the tube.
You know the thing.
The tube is the one that has the gel at the bottom that reacts with the Rona.
Okay.
So that is where your active agent should be. Prior to that, it's just preserving and keeping it sterile, which we have Q-tips that are sterile that aren't in ethanol oxide.
I
but-
was gonna say, if you just put them in a
but ethanol oxide is one of the 3 highest contributors to cancer. So why would we not do that? Because why would you let a good pandemic go to waste?
see, that makes no sense.
just
When I mean, you go to a doctor's office, especially like for
They pull a
with-
Q-tip out.
with strep throat. You
Yep.
know, they got that big old
Q-tip,
Q-tip.
that's in a
it's
that's
in a
just in a paper thing because it's sterile. That's all they
Right?
need it to do.
right.
Yeah.
Why can't they do that for the
Because
test kits?
because I can't then put cancer on you 10 years from now and make you pay for that.
We got 15 minutes.
So sorry.
Oh
Sorry.
my god.
You have anything else about Ukraine on there tonight?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Will you
2.5
stop riling us up? We need
2.5
to-
million refugees.
coming across our Texas border.
Yep. ISIS confirmed death of a leader and announces a new caliphate.
Wah, wah, wah.
Illegal
boy.
immigrants
Shit, that's
arrested and
bad.
deported. So illegal immigrants arrested and deported are down 85%
What?
compared to the Obama years.
That's because we're not
They're not
Arresting
doing
them.
anything to him.
Right? Jussie Smollett, you saw that. He says he is not suicidal.
He's not.
I am 100% fine if he's not suicidal.
You know what?
Jussie, he got
Leave
convicted.
his ass
He's only
in
got to
that
go to
cage
he's
by
gotta go to
himself
jail like
and see
180
what happens.
days. It's
What-
not like it's, but he said if something happens to me,
What a
I am not
pussballs.
suicidal. He said it like 5
8 times.
Why is he
yeah.
gonna hang himself?
So
One of
I
my
hope he
Facebook
does.
friends
They-
had the best quote. He said, "You know what? I was really for Will Smith getting an Academy Award." He goes, "But Jesse won it hands down right now."
100%.
Right?
100%. I'm fine with that. Thank you. The corona, it's the thingamabber. It goes in the
I like
thingy and with the stuff.
those are all medical terms,
Duh.
obviously.
Chris, we gotta have you on a show,
Hey.
man.
We have to talk to people who are at my intent right now.
Yeah, he was actually a morally very good guy. That was his downfall. He was too nice for the position. Carter, we're talking about Jimmy Carter.
I would not have that problem.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter was not meant to be president. Quote of the week. Actually, there's 2 of them on here. One is, Teddy Roosevelt said, "We wish peace, but we wish the peace of justice, the peace of righteousness. We wish it because we think it is right and not because we are afraid." I just thought that was kind of an interesting one, considering what the state of the world is today.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I know this is a repeat from before, but the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Amen.
I'm about past that point when there was a lady in our garage.
There's still more?
Well, this was about the topic of energy, but
You were worried about not having anything.
Yeah, I think we're good.
No kidding.
Jeez.
So,
So
Chris
one-
says he's
couple-
in.
couple quick-
Yes, Chris.
What did Chris say?
He wants to do an episode with us. He absolutely should.
Oh, absolutely.
It'd be
Oh, we
fun to
got
have him.
we actually have several people that want to do episodes with us. So
There we go.
we are more than willing to do that. So one thing that I just wanted to point out of all of this that I did research on energy, and I know Keith probably did too. So who is the world's largest? So Wendy was asking questions when we were reading tonight.
I know that's a surprise, isn't it?
So we were
I was shocked.
She was like, "How are we an exporter of oil when we're such a big importer of oil?"
We were actually just talking about that. That's funny.
Do you know who the world's largest
Exporter?
No, the world's largest oil company is?
OPEC, isn't it?
No, OPEC is a
Conglomerate, isn't
well,
it?
no, it's a consortium of
Wind consortium.
states. So it's a consortium of states, and all they do is pump the oil. They don't actually refine the oil. Who is the biggest refiner of oil?
I have
The
no
world.
idea. I have
No idea. Not
Sinop-
us.
Sinopec.
Are you
down
sitting
here at
down?
the bottom? Sinopec Corporation.
I don't know what a sign up.
No, actually, Sinopec Group. So
And who owns it?
China.
Fauci.
Oh, of
China.
course they do. Of course they do.
China.
Of
Sorry.
course they do.
China. Sinopec
Why would they not?
Sinopec Corporation is the U.S. version of that,
Hmm.
based in Houston. Do you think that any of that oil, any of that gasoline,
Based in Texas. Y'all can't see my shot glass.
do you think any of that stays here in the U.S.?
Oh, hell
Or do you
no.
think that
That
goes?
gets shipped out?
Oh, that's
Oh,
being
good shit.
Do you
exported.
think that goes
China.
west? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that goes west.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is interesting because I wouldn't think that China would be a big user of oil.
Why not?
Oh, they are.
Because they don't
They
have a
actually
shit
are
ton
the
of
world's
cars.
largest, but they are
No.
they are actually the biggest user of coal in the world.
And they're also the biggest contributor to
Global
global
warming.
warming.
That I get.
Yeah.
But
well, that's
Cars,
why.
oil, I wouldn't think so. Like gasoline, because they
do
don't have a lot of.
or they did
I mean,
have
they
a
do have
growing
cars, but
middle
they don't have a
class.
ton of cars.
They
Like
got
most
mass
of their
transit,
people
they
are.
got-
But I
Yeah.
mean, oil is used elsewhere in ships and planes and
Yeah.
it's not just transportation. I mean, it's also heating,
Heating, yeah.
heating.
Oh,
oil
that's
and
true,
stuff like
that's
that.
Where
true.
do
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out, where do 80% of the ships come from that bring the shit here into the
Right?
country?
China.
It's all
That's
Yep.
true. They got to pay their
yeah. I mean,
ships to bring us all our
Yeah.
stuff.
All right,
Yep.
so we have 11 minutes.
we're gonna go. Over.
We're going over.
Time.
I have a
We
quiz.
have a quiz. Okay.
But
Can
the
I
quiz,
Can I tell a
Is it
story?
a-
you can tell the
Yeah.
story.
Okay. So I was a lovely, super nice person today with our movers. So we had the movers today and they were great. The movers were great.
Okay.
But there was this, so there's 4 dudes, right? And I hear this lady's voice. And we're sitting at the kitchen table and I hear this lady's voice. And I look at Keith and I'm like, there's only 4 dudes, right? Like maybe there was a woman. I don't know. Maybe I missed her. Could happen. Maybe she was in the truck. I don't know.
Trans?
This lady, who knows? This lady walks in. It's some lady from the neighborhood, literally in their living room. Walks in the
She
house.
just walked in?
Walks right in the house. Oh yeah, I was
Wow,
looking for
that's
some
ballsy.
movers. I whatever,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. I am like 30 seconds away from telling this lady to get out of my house because I don't know you. Like you're in our house looking over everything, and I'm from the hood. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you
You're gonna
scouting
get
the
throat
place?
punched, right?
Like what are you gonna do? Well, I was on the other side of the table holding the dog, so it
Come
could have
on, you
happened.
can still throw punch.
Could have happened. Could have
I'm
happened. I could have
surprised you
thrown my
just didn't
glass at her.
release the dog.
So right? No, because then I would have had to chase him down the road.
No,
So
you called in the
then,
dog.
So then she leaves. And whatever, she was going to hire him after, which is fine. Like we only had a couple hours with him. It wasn't a big deal. So then later, like 20 minutes later, she's in the garage chatting the guys up. So I'm like, oh, I hear her voice. I get up from mountains and I'm like, can I help you? Oh, well, I just wanted to, what do you need? You
Yeah,
can talk to
they're
me.
on my
working.
clock.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
they're
they're
on my
working.
clock.
What can I help you with? Oh, well, I just wanted to make sure that and I said, did you call the number? Yeah, I already spoke with them. I just wanted to make sure the time was right. Awesome. You can call the number and speak with that.
Yeah.
I'm paying for them right now.
Right.
You can stop talking to them.
Yeah, you're on
Have
my
a
clock.
great day.
And if I had a camera, I would have
Have a
taken the picture of the look on the mover's face.
Yeah, the poor guy
Because
looks.
they were all just stunned. Like
I'm like, have a wonderful day. You can talk with them when they're on your time.
Yeah,
maybe that's
peace
why they
out.
did such
When
a
you're
good job.
paying
Because it was scary to you.
$250 an hour for them, you can chat them up all day long.
Yeah.
Boo-boo.
Like, come
You're
on,
not
guys,
going to
let's
do
not-
it on
let's
my
not
You
mess
gotta
with
get the
her.
hell out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
not
like,
mess with
I'm
her.
not. No, let's go.
253.76 million
love 'em.
vehicles used in China. Wow, that's a lot.
But
How many
people-
people do they have though?
They have
Their
1
population
point.
is-
They're in the billion,
one-
right?
1.2
See, so that's
billion or
nothing.
1.3
That's
billion.
nothing.
Still a
But-
lot.
You have
But
people
India-
like me who have 12 cars. That's nothing.
But India has like 1.5
Yeah, but they have what is it,
billion
rickshaws?
What? They have a what?
What are those?
The
Rickshaws?
rickshaws, yeah.
A rickshaw?
Yeah.
Remember
Is that like a ricochet when you get hit in the
No,
face
the
with
guy-
something?
the guy-
the car.
the guy ran with
Whenever
it.
they run.
Yeah.
You know, the 2 sticks, and he ran
Yeah.
with the little chariot cart.
What?
You never seen that?
Oh.
It's like a thing?
Go watch
Yeah.
Indiana.
It's
Go
like a-
watch.
It's like a thing.
Go watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
It's in the- it's in
see
the
that?
beginning.
Yeah.
Like that's a job?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that job.
Are you doing quizzes? Oh, he's looking it up.
Rickshaw.
Oh, that's the.
well.
No,
Now
You're
that's
talking about
dude
the
on the
motor
bike.
bicycles.
Yeah, not the,
Like this was the
Yeah.
original.
do the
No,
That's
original.
cute. I
Yeah.
would do that.
I would do that. Are you
That's
kidding
cute.
me?
I
No,
would,
those
no,
are-
I wouldn't like be the dude pedaling. No.
He's not pedaling. He's running.
Running.
He's like
No, he's
tied.
pedaling. See?
Well,
No,
now-
I'm not talking about the
No.
bike. Talking about the original rickshaw
Yeah.
The original.
where you
was
like-
this.
you're like a friggin' horse tied up to
Yeah.
the carriage.
Yep.
No, thank you.
All right. So
Quicker.
going back to several episodes ago,
Okay.
Okay.
and
Sorry.
Lizzie was telling us about how freakishly hard the Constitution test is.
Oh no.
It's hard.
You
So
do.
Oh, is that
you
a
don't
quiz?
need your
that our
A,
quiz?
B, C, and D
Oh, we don't. Okay.
Okay.
because it is an online. I have not looked at this other than I just glanced at the first question, and I didn't want to spoil it because I have not taken this myself.
I'm
Okay.
gonna fail.
Well, it's a group thing, so there's no individual. We're just as a group, we're going to try and come up with the answer.
There's no embarrassment.
It's 10 questions
Okay.
It's gonna be terrible.
because there was the much harder 50 question test
no.
with all the explanations.
Keep,
Yeah.
Please
But that-
keep in mind, Lindsay has done 3 shots of banana
Oh,
cream.
see, that's
And
even
had
better.
4
Well, give me your glass. She'll do 4.
And 4.
Oh,
Hold on.
Jesus Christmas. God, she's going to drink the whole friggin' thing.
And I've had 4 beers
right.
by
I've
now.
only had one.
So turn
And I've
us
had
on.
4
Let's-
beers, so
let's-
we're good.
We got 6 minutes for 10 questions.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's timed?
no,
Oh.
but we're before we run out of time.
Yeah, we're fine because we'll let
So
people
the
play along at home.
USGovernmentQuiz.com, U.S. Constitution quiz.
I can't read it.
Oh,
What
there's
is the
18
main purpose of the United States Constitution? A, to declare independence from Great Britain. B, to establish. What are you
Thank you.
doing?
He's
To
blowing it
establish
bigger.
a new government in the United States and designate its powers and limits. C, to lay the groundwork for ending slavery in the United States. D, to provide citizens with a written record of the Constitutional Convention.
What is the purpose of the Constitution?
No fucking idea.
Come on. What do you think the purpose of the Constitution is? What should it be?
B. I'm going to say B.
Can you blow it up more?
I can.
Sorry, John.
He's really blind. To
Abs-
establish a new government
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
United States and designate its powers and limits.
Absolutely B. I agree.
Correct.
I agree.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Constitution,
Indy,
supreme
woo!
legal document. All right.
The Constitution is the supreme legal document of the.
Oh, we're playing along. Christine got B.
Good job, Christine.
What is the introductory sentence of the Constitution called?
The Bill of Rights, the Articles of Confederation, the constitutional address, the preamble, preamble.
C.
I was going to say C.
I say C.
Yeah.
It is C.
2 for 2.
Are we letting people
Well,
play at home, or we're not?
since it's kind of a group thing, it doesn't really,
Okay.
Doesn't really matter.
it's one of the most important
It's
sentences.
just a
These are
learning
people.
thing. is
Great
what
I don't
I'm
even know what a
saying.
preamble is.
It's the first. It is the introductory sentence
That's
of the
what I was trying to
Constitution.
read was the bottom part. It outlines the role of the United States government. Okay.
Got it.
Still don't know what that is, but awesome.
Number 3.
Y'all, I failed.
What do the first 3 articles of the Constitution accomplish?
I don't know what the first 3 articles are.
B.
You want to know? You want to talk some
Yeah, I was gonna
science
say
shit,
B.
and then we'll see you go, "Ugh."
I say B.
You want to talk some electronic shit?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
We can
You can-
play.
You
we
can
play
chat.
this
You
game.
can chat with Keith
We
about
can play
that.
that game.
We can
I know.
play this.
I know who to
game.
pick. I
Teams.
have
Teams?
picked my people well.
Oh, wouldn't it be fun to play? What was that game we had to choose topics? Jeopardy? Was Jeopardy?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun to do, right?
And you
We
pick
gotta
your
get-
topic.
Give me
We
some
gotta do it.
time. Give me some time. I can come up with a joke.
Oh, that would be fun.
And then you pick your
That's
like
gonna be an entire
electronics
episode,
or
though.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do
We
it.
need
Let's
to-
do a
okay,
Jeopardy.
We can do it. We can do a Jeopardy. I can't have it done by next week.
no, it'd be
Give
a
me-
couple weeks
Give
from
me
now.
a couple weeks, and I can probably put together a Jeopardy.
Oh,
That
that'd
would
be
be
fun.
We can do that. I
Oh
think
my god,
I,
we need
I
to
can
have Brian
be-
out
oh,
for that.
this is-
That would be
Oh,
hilarious.
this is awesome. We can do a Jeopardy.
Oh,
Right?
all
That'd be
All right. What
great.
does the first 3 articles of the Constitution accomplish?
B.
Outline the responsibilities. Oh, I can't speak now. Outline the responsibilities and powers of the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Clearly define the fundamental rights. Okay, there might be a little slurring.
Are you speaking in cursive?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Clearly
wow.
define
And
the
I'm trying to
fundamental
speak
rights
fast on
of
top
all
of it, which
American
just
citizens.
sucks.
List the main reasons for separation from Great Britain. Provide a vague outline of the American government.
What do you think it
Say
is?
B.
No idea.
It's B.
D.
B.
B.
I'm going to say B.
Wrong.
What?
D? Is it D?
Ah.
It is A. Outline the responsibilities of the executive, legislative,
Oh.
and judicial branches.
What?
I don't feel
The
bad
bulk of
because
the
I didn't know
Constitution
anyways.
is contained within the 3 articles that follow the preamble. Lay out the purpose, responsibilities, and structure of the legislative, executive, and judicial branches
Mm.
of government.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Good job.
Oh, shit.
Got that one wrong.
Your score is 67%.
How
we
did the
only did
framers
4
of the
questions.
Constitution aim to ensure separation of powers between the 3 branches of government? They established a system of checks and balances.
Yep. A.
They ensured considerable overlap between the different branches. They attributed the same powers to multiple branches, or all of the above.
I remember checks and
A.
balances from my history
Yep.
class, so it's A.
A. I would agree. A.
Lindsay? Lindsay?
I don't know.
You're just gonna,
Do you realize that
you're
I
just gonna vote present?
absolutely?
Correct.
Here's my vote.
Woo! Yeah.
No single branch of government can become too powerful.
Y'all know that the only class I failed ever was history.
Y'all know we're going to be carrying Lindsay out of the studio tonight.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
okay.
Totally fine.
What does
That's
Article
okay.
1 of the U.S. Constitution accomplish?
There's articles in the U.S. Constitution?
And Article 5 is a convention of states. Explain the powers of the executive. B is powers of the legislative. C is judicial. Or outline the relationship between each state and the others.
I don't
and
know.
between the
this one.
states and federal government.
I'm going to go with D.
I pick F.
I'm going to go with D on this.
What does Article 1?
Because executive is always the last one to be mentioned. So I was going to say judicial, but I'm going to say I'm going with D on this.
Going with D.
What do you think?
Everybody,
Yeah, I think D.
everybody
Yeah.
going with D.
No. What is Article? No.
Legislature.
Really? It starts with
Legislative.
legislative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Legislative, executive, and judicial.
And see, keep in mind, I mean, granted,
I
we've
knew that.
lived
The
in the U.S.,
legislature was
but we
supposed to
haven't,
be
like, studied this.
Right.
the legislature is supposed to be the lawmakers,
Right.
That's
Right.
the first. And then
so
it
that's
goes.
that's the whole point of what the Constitution says.
That's
It's
Congress.
the legislature. It's both
Right.
sides,
Congress.
both houses, and they were supposed to be the lawmakers.
The executive enacts them, right? Enacts the laws.
Well, the executive
They
is
create the laws, right?
Well, I'm not going to say anything because it might come up as a question.
Okay.
later.
Oh,
So
okay.
don't say. All right. Don't say anything.
All right.
What is Article 2?
Jesus Christ.
Executive or judicial.
Judicial.
You think
Yeah.
judicial is
Judicial?
second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Legislative, judicial, and executive.
All right.
Wrong.
1 second.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Y'all don't remember how I
functions of the
failed.
executive branch not only details how the president and VP are chosen, removed from office, also explicitly grants such powers to the executive branch as making foreign treaties and commanding the armed forces.
Can I say something that makes me scared?
Oh
right
my God,
now?
we're only at
Okay.
50%.
My dad is silent through this whole thing, so he's either
What?
sitting back laughing his ass
Or
off
he's
right now,
dead.
saying
Or
you
he's
guys
dumbfounded
suck,
by this.
or he's dumbfounded by it.
Well, right now we're at 50%, so
We failed.
we are
Ugh.
not getting citizenship.
Oh my God.
Article 3.
Sorry,
Well, what are we doing?
I can't
we're-
read it. The
we're
princess
reading him out
one.
loud.
Well, you need a bigger screen, Dan.
He's probably
Don't
on his
tell him that
phone.
because we don't have it set up yet.
Right.
Okay. Are we picking C?
This is
power of elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a trick question. LC
Oh, is it
going
gonna be
to-
D? Is it
it's a
gonna be
trick
D?
question.
Hold
It's
on.
gonna be D, isn't it?
No,
It's D.
it's C.
No, it's
It's
C.
D.
It's C.
I got 2 C's and a D.
It's C.
It's gonna be D.
It's C.
Hold on. Let's
Uh,
see.
It's
Oh,
C.
it is
All right,
C.
good.
Okay.
Christine got it correct.
I'm at 50%. Like I'm having anxiety right now.
We're at
Do
57%.
you need another shot to get rid of that
I think
anxiety?
so.
Jesus.
I
What
can't-
article
I can't do-
outlines
like
the
it-
process for amending the
I can't handle it.
Constitution?
Freak,
I
don't
told you
know
the
this.
one B I got in school, it freaked like
4,
I
5,
had
6,
so
or
much.
7.
I'm guessing
Which article is it?
6. Is it 6?
Why are you looking at me? What do you
Because you know the shit more than I do.
I do, but
Process for
That's why
amending
he's smirking.
I think no.
because I
Shit.
already said it.
Did you?
Which article?
Yes, I did.
I didn't hear you say it.
I don't know what
Uh,
those numbers
Article
mean.
5
5?
minutes ago.
Article 5.
Article 5.
Okay.
What is a 5? A V. Article V.
Establishes
That's
any
fine.
changes to the
Oh
Constitution.
my God, we're only at 63.
We're going up. Come on, we're going up.
We're still failing.
outlines the relationship between the federal and state governments.
Article
I
VII.
don't know the articles. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is 7.
That would be 7.
You saying 7? No, Article 4.
6. Oh, 4. Okay.
I don't know what VII is.
Oh, we just went down.
I'm so sorry.
Lindsay,
All
we're
right,
losing
so
it.
what does the
56%.
supremacy clause, in Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution accomplish? Establishes the president as the supreme authority in time of crisis. It declares the United States the greatest and most powerful nation on earth. I really love that.
my God.
Establishes
Was that
the
a
Supreme
really
Court
good
as the
answer?
supreme authority in time of crisis, or establishes the Constitution as the highest law within the borders of the United States.
Well,
I'm going to go with A.
the Constitution is the highest law
Yeah.
to me. So
Right.
It's not, though.
It is.
It is.
But
it's supposed to be.
yeah.
It's supposed
I'm going to go with
D.
A.
Oh.
I got an A and a D. Tiebreaker. A and a D.
B.
Somebody else put out number 10. Come on. Give us a
I'm gonna
letter.
say D.
Don't rely on somebody else. This is your citizenship.
Hanging
Oh,
in the
shut up.
balance.
You wouldn't get any of
Hanging
these
in
questions
the
right.
I
balance.
fucking be shipped off in a second. I told you all
Dan
that
is
to begin
currently
with.
But at
Dan
least
is
you
currently
could study.
Googling
We
Article
haven't studied.
6
Look at
of the
that.
Constitution.
All
I
right.
think if I
Say
said
D.
I'm
that's
going-
true.
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
A.
say D.
We have 2 A's. All
I'm
right.
going
So
A.
2
A.
A's. No, establishes the Constitution the
Fucking
highest
shit.
law within the borders of the U.S.
Isn't that kind of
You suck.
It is a given, but still it has to be outlined in the Constitution or it's null and void.
We are only at 50%.
We are at
Bitch,
50%.
I should have won with my
We
first
are being
guess.
shipped back to Mexico.
What are the conditions for ratification of the Constitution set out in Article
VII.
7.
Didn't I already guess this one?
Nine,
don't
no,
know.
I'm gonna go with
not,
A.
It's not 9 of the 13. No.
Oh,
Again, we
7
talked
of the
about this
13.
in past, not tonight, but we've talked about this in the past of the ratios.
I'm gonna go with D.
Is it to ratify the Constitution set out in Article 7?
I know it goes to the what was it? The
It goes back to what I've said in the past about Article 5 for amendments.
I'm going with C.
I'm gonna go with D.
I have a C
it's
and a
B.
D.
It's B or C.
I think it's C.
I'm the
I
only
don't-
one
I
out
don't
here
know.
with D.
B
I
or
don't
C.
remember.
B or C.
What are we picking here?
We need a breaker. Somebody give us a breaker.
Yeah.
Well, if you two both picked C, then it's C.
I didn't pick C.
You didn't pick anything.
I know.
He's not going to.
He's
No.
not going to.
Because I know what the answer
Christine
is.
says D.
Christine says D. I'm with D, Christine. I don't think that's right,
Yeah.
but
No, I'm
It's
gonna
B
tell
or
you
C.
right
Don't
now,
pick D.
it
C?
is-
it is not D.
C.
It is B.
It
Is it B?
Okay.
Okay. I know it was B or C.
Because it takes 2/3 of the states to be able to call for a convention of states. It takes 3/4 of the states to be able to ratify an amendment to the Constitution.
I was thinking 2/3, but 9 out of 13. I guess it
Okay.
is.
Yeah, the founder set a high bar for ratification. So I mean, this is
Are
why
you going to expect me to do math right now?
If you
We are
look- if you-
45%.
if you look at the actual history of the Constitution,
Oh my God.
the country was somewhere like 4 or 5 years old before the Constitution was fully ratified.
Fully ratified.
Now, granted, this is back in the days when you
You're
had to-
giving me anxiety.
everything was all on horseback, but I mean, it took a long time to get it ratified by the original 13.
Let's do a Pelosi.
Question
on.
12 out of 18. What conditions must be met in order to amend the Constitution? The House must ratify the amendment by a 2/3 majority. Oh, shit.
I'm going to go with all the above
The
because
Senate must ratify
anytime
the
it's
amendment
there,
by
it's usually
2/3.
right.
3/4 of the states must ratify all of the above.
All the above.
I have a D.
99% of the time.
It usually is all the above when they get it as a choice, but I was thinking C for some reason.
They could throw it in there to screw
I'm
you
gonna
up. They already
say
did it once.
C. I'm gonna say C.
It is C. I already said that. So Article 5 states, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah.
They are not following by correct rules. That's wrong.
How can an amendment of the Constitution be formally proposed?
None of the above because they shouldn't put it in there if it's not true.
State legislatures can propose an amendment and submit it for ratification. An amendment can be proposed by a convention of states called by 2/3 of the state legislatures. Supreme Court can propose amendments when issuing a unanimous opinion or none of the above.
I was going to go with B.
There's a pity in the studio.
That's not an answer.
It's D. None of the
How can
above.
I remember?
I have a D and a C.
B, I said.
B.
I like B. Yeah, I like
B.
I'm
We have
thinking-
two
Mine
Bs.
is P. Pity in the
B.
studio.
B is correct.
C is correct. Okay.
So unfortunately, I keep saying I got to stop.
Oh, it's B as in Bill. See,
I gotta keep stop. I'm saying too much here. So the necessary and proper clause grants blank the power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution. Congress, President, Supreme Court, or the American military.
Hold on. Necessary and proper clause grants blank the power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying execution the foregoing powers of all other powers vested by this Constitution.
D.
I'm going to go with C on that one.
D. What did you say?
In
No,
all their
I said
firing
C.
power.
The Supreme Court?
Yeah.
Mandela?
Do you not like my answer, John?
I got your. I have you marked down for a
it's
D.
just the way I would like
have you
it.
mark it down. I have you marked down for a D. So LC
I'm
wants
gonna
a,
guess A.
LC wants a banana republic.
I'm gonna say A.
You're
You're
going to
going
say A?
I'm gonna say A.
With banana hammocks.
Christine says A, so go with A.
It is A.
Okay, good job.
It is A.
Nobody
job,
likes
Congress makes the laws.
Right. And the president has to, they either veto them or sign them in.
Yes.
Okay.
Question 15 out of 18. How does the Constitution ensure popular sovereignty? A bill submitted to Congress by an American citizen must be debated and granted
An up or down vote.
Free and fair elections must be held regularly. Government officials can be censored by popular vote or all of the above.
I'm saying all the above on that one. I'm going to go with the
I
all
picked
above.
that last time. It didn't work.
Yeah, I'm going with the all
They
the above on this.
Fibbed.
Government officials can be censored by a popular vote.
Mm-mm. No, they can't. They don't
I'm gonna say
shut
B.
up.
Technically, they can.
B.
They
I'm
can.
No,
gonna
but
say
they don't
B.
shut up.
You're going B?
I'm gonna go with
I'm going to
B.
go with D on this.
What are we picking?
Give some.
D.
Christine says D.
Oh, that's wrong.
Is it?
Why would they put that option up there? They
You're
are
right,
not
Wendy.
going
Good
by
job.
any rules. This is not fair.
Because you can go and you can write to Andy Biggs and say, I want a law that says this. Andy Biggs does not have to bring it anywhere.
Nope.
Can I write him a letter?
You can write him. I've written him.
Yeah.
That's
Uh-oh.
true. He doesn't have to do anything with it, does
No.
I've written to Kristen Cinema. I've written to
She's a
Mark
hooker.
Kelly.
Don't write to her.
No.
Mark Kelly's a hooker too.
he? How does the
Well, that's
rule of
true.
You know
law-
what? I actually
Question
give
16 of
Kristen-
18. How does the rule of law outlined in the Constitution ensure a limited
You think
government?
so?
The Constitution
When?
must be ratified
Yeah.
again by a 3/4
Yeah.
majority of the states every 20 years. The Constitution limits the number of federal laws and government officials. The Constitution can be superseded by laws of individual states, or the Constitution applies to everyone, even the highest ranking government officials.
You didn't like number B there, Josh?
I see.
Oh, that one just makes me laugh.
I say D.
I have a D. I have one D. Who else? You're laughing, but now I see Elsie reading it again.
I have to because I was laughing after he said B.
The Constitution applies to everybody.
How does the rule of law
there's
ensure
no-
a limited government? It doesn't.
Yes, it does. Our government doesn't follow the Constitution.
Sorry. But I like the way it's supposed to be.
Christine says D. Anybody else say
I'm
D?
going to go with D.
Okay.
I'll say D.
I have 4 Ds. D is correct.
Woohoo! Hey, I got one right. Oh
All
my God,
right.
we're only at 56%. They are kicking us out.
17 out of 18. What are the enumerated powers and reserved powers of the Constitution? Ooh. Enumerated powers are the explicitly stated powers of the federal government, whereas reserved powers are those given to the states. Enumerated powers are the explicitly stated powers of the state governments, whereas reserved powers are those given to the federal government. Enumerated powers clearly define the lawful actions of citizens, whereas reserved powers define the lawful actions of government on behalf of the citizens. Or enumerated powers must be approved by state legislatures, whereas reserved powers must be approved by 2/3 majority of Congress.
Can I ask you a
am gonna
question?
Yeah, this
I am
one's
going
hard.
to even
This one's hard.
blow this up as big as I possibly can make it, because I want to see Dan's answer.
Can I ask a
Okay,
question?
Dan.
What's enumerated powers?
Yeah. What's enumerated and what's the other one?
Fuck
Reserve
you.
powers.
How'd you know what I was going to ask?
We know
Dan, do you
you,
need to see
Lindsay.
the question? What are enumerated
No more.
powers and
No
reserved
more.
powers in the Constitution?
No, but what are enumerated powers?
I'm guessing D. But I honestly don't know.
What? I don't know what enumerated powers are.
And I'm going to tell you right now, that's
It's
wrong.
I'm thinking A.
Is it wrong?
I'm gonna say wait.
Where's Dan? Where's Dan?
Why does nobody answer my question?
Then I'll go with B. If you think D's wrong, then
I
B.
don't think it's C.
I'll go with B. I know I'm wrong.
Where's Dan? Where's Dan?
Come on, Dad, get up there.
Go with A.
I'm gonna say
Christine
A.
I
says
see
A.
Christine says A.
Go with
Yeah,
A.
I'm gonna say A.
Reserve powers given to the state, though? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's a tough one.
Come on.
It's a tough one.
He's
Come
not
on,
going to
Dan.
answer. He hasn't answered the whole time.
Are we over? Ooh, we're way over.
We're way over.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
good. We're fine. Everybody's
right.
hanging with us.
I'm going to tell you right now, it is B.
Is B.
Is it B?
The
Okay.
states get the power. The federal government only gets reserve power.
Okay.
Reserve power.
Oh, I was wrong.
Oh, C was
shit.
A.
Shit.
Yes, go
Wow.
Wendy.
All right. So
That threw you for a loop too.
did. Last question. Which of the following is a concurrent power? Power to declare war, to tax, to establish schools, or all of the above?
I'm gonna
To
say
establish public schools.
all of the above.
Yeah, because you can declare war. It's
You can
concurrent.
declare war. You can
A
declare
concurrent
taxes.
is, at the same time. So I'm gonna
Oh
say
yeah, they
D.
can declare war and
Are we
take
going
taxes.
D?
I'm going with C.
I'm gonna say D.
Oh,
Oh, the power to
Mm.
tax.
power
really?
to tax.
Huh.
Because in order to declare war, the president has the power to go to Congress to request to declare war, and Congress must grant it, but Congress can also withdraw it. It's not perpetual or concurrent.
Oh.
Okay.
So Congress can say, no, you're stupid. We're not doing it.
We're not doing it. So the speech that FDR gave on December 8th, December
Okay.
7th,
After
a day
Pearl
that'll
Harbor.
live in infamy,
Yeah.
he was actually asking Congress
To go to war.
to go to war.
And they said no.
All but one said yes.
Oh, really?
So does that mean no then?
What?
No,
No,
they wouldn't. They
no,
Okay,
it's a
'cause
simple
I was gonna say,
majority.
even if
No, it's
one-
just a simple majority.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if one said no, then I didn't.
So
feel like-
we are at 50% for 18 questions.
we failed.
we just got kicked out.
Yeah.
Good quiz though.
We
That
just got
Yeah, it
shipped out.
is.
was a really good quiz. It's embarrassing, but yeah.
But keep in mind, we didn't do any studying either. I mean, this is just going back from what we learned in history or social, not social studies.
Yeah, I know you weren't playing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game.
starts
American
with C.
history.
Yeah.
Terrible. Absolutely awful. But again, that's the only class I failed was history. Always.
History's all
Never-
about memorization.
Never passed history.
It really
I can
is.
do math. I can do anything. Statistics all day long. Biology all day long.
Not,
Can't do
not that
history.
I have a shit ton of spare time, but I would love to jump online to Hillsdale and go through their constitution.
Oh, I would
course.
love to
Yeah.
also.
I
I've-
just don't have time.
I
to do
started it and I've done 2 chapters and I would love to finish it, but I don't have the time.
and it's free.
And it costs nothing.
Yeah, it's free.
They have a lot. If anybody ever, Hillsdale College
There you go. Give them a good plug.
they have a great online free civics program going
We need
on.
to do it.
Yeah, like I said, I've got 2 chapters done. But it's like, I don't know how many chapters just for the Constitution test
Yeah.
or Constitution.
You know,
I'm deported, Chris.
You know, Chris, I didn't see you putting up any answers there, Chris.
I've been telling everybody from the beginning that my ass will be in Mexico eating tacos.
Right.
That's okay.
All right.
Good
It
good quiz.
happens.
That was good.
Yeah.
We definitely have to work on the Jeopardy things. That'd be a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
I will work
That'd be
on that.
You have
So-
to play your video again.
I will. I'll play it as our outro.
Oh, all
But,
right. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, but thank you so much, guys, for hanging with us
Yeah.
tonight. I know we went a little bit over. For anybody who's new, that's not showing up in the comments, thank you for joining
Welcome.
tonight. And please, as always, please share, subscribe, share it with your friends. I know there's a lot more people out there that feel the way we do, and we'd love to have you be a part of the show.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And even if you don't, even if you disagree with us, we'd still like
That's
you to be
fine,
part
too.
of the show. So, I think it's important.
Chris didn't want to get to
Oh,
No, Chris, you're going to be the one sending us stuff to help us get back.
Chris, I'm going to make sure when you come on with us that John makes a really good quiz.
Oh, one of the speed quizzes.
Right?
One-
Yeah,
one
I
of
do
the
want
Other
to
speed
be
people
quizzes.
have
quizzes.
to take it.
We love you too,
We
Christine.
love you
Thanks
too.
for
I
thanks for hanging with
swear
us.
I will ship your stuff out.
You
But
know
please-
what? Give it to me. I'll ship it out.
Right? There you
Okay.
go. Wendy's in charge of that. Yeah, but by all means, please share it with your friends and family. We'd love to get some more people listening to us. I think it's important to get our voices out there. And I think what we stand for is something that America needs right now.
Yep.
So
Yep, absolutely.
very important. But to those of you that are faithful to us every week, we really, really, really appreciate it.
Yes,
Even
thank you
though-
guys.
even though we
You know,
get drunk and stupid sometimes.
you
it's
know
still
we
a lot
love
of
you.
fun. So on
Is
that note,
that meant towards me
nope,
We're more
I didn't
fun
say
that way.
right now?
No, I didn't say it at all. But on that note, thank you to all our firefighters, our police, our military, our
First
first responders, everybody who
Yep.
protects us and takes care of us.
Thank you.
We do not take that for granted whatsoever. Not, At least not in
All
this
of our
room.
nurses
So-
still fighting the fight. Good job, y'all.
and all our
Yeah.
truckers out there fighting the cause.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
We appreciate it. So we're going to leave you with our little video in case you missed it at the beginning. It's a lot of fun. It might actually be our next coffee table crumbs, I think. But pretty good.
It's
So
hilarious.
good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Good night.
We'll see you
Bye,
next week.
guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The federal government has suspended all commercial flight mask mandates. You may now remove your masks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The CDC recommends that the federal government reinstate the mask mandate until April 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The federal government has suspended all commercial flight mask mandates. You may now remove your masks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The CDC recommends the federal government extend mask mandates on commercial flights until April 18th. So sorry for the news.